We started our Danube River cruise in Budapest, Hungary, where we met our ship, the Adagio. We're traveling with my two brothers and their spouses. The next morning, our tour started at the Shoes on the Danube Memorial, remembering the Jews massacred by the Hungarian militia in 1944. Their shoes were valuable and were resold by the militia. Heroes Square has the equestrian statues of the 9th century Magyar leaders who conquered the region. Just off the square is the Vidahuna Castle, here seen in fall colors last time we were here. Next day we explored the Jewish heritage of Hungary, starting at the Great Synagogue with its Moorish external design and an interior that looks like a church. Nearby is the Heroes Synagogue, built in 1931 to commemorate the Jews who fought for Hungary during World War I. In the back is the Holocaust Memorial. Finally, we visited the Rombach Street Synagogue. In the afternoon, we climbed the Fisherman's Bastion, originally the ancient city walls. Here is St. Matthias Church, the site of many royal coronations. That evening, we cruised down the Danube as the sun set, enjoying the illumination of the city. We docked at Vukovar, Croatia, part of Yugoslavia after World War I. In 1991, Croatia declared their independence after Tito died. Here, 1,700 Croatians held off the Serbian army for 87 days. Every night, a boy would climb a water tower to raise the Croatian flag. We had lunch at the home of Lydia, Dominic, and their daughter, Ivan. Dominic's retired, Lydia owns a hair salon, and Ivan is in high school. They have lots of sheep, geese, and hens in their yard, and breed parrots. That night, we were entertained by a Slavonian musical group featuring a tamburica. We sailed on to Novi Sad, Serbia. In 1999, NATO bombed the 3 bridges of this town until the Serb army left Kosovo. We walked to Liberty Square with the bishop's residence, an Orthodox church, and the Catholic church. In the afternoon, we visited Petrovaradin Fortress, a fortress that has guarded the river for centuries under numerous empires. It's the largest in Europe. Next day, we toured Serbia's capital, Belgrade. Here we visited the mausoleum of Tito. There are many opinions about Tito, but most agree that he was the only one who could keep the 6 ethnic groups of Yugoslavia together in one country. Each year, his birthday was celebrated as a national holiday. This even continued for 8 years after his death. We toured the city center, including the Orthodox Church. In the afternoon, we visited the Belgrade Fortress. It fortifies the last hill before the European plains. There have been 214 battles here, and Belgrade has been destroyed 42 times. The Victory Monument celebrates the victory over the Ottomans. Leaving the fortress, we saw numerous young men and women taking a break from their dance competition. That evening, we enjoyed the dancing by Talia. The following day, we sailed through the Iron Gate section of the Danube. The Iron Gate Dam, built in 1972, allows navigation through this region. The stone tablet commemorates the Roman bridge that crossed the Danube here. Our next port was Vidin, Bulgaria. Vidin, here spelled in Cyrillic, was a city of 90,000 in 1989, but only 40,000 today. 10 major factories closed in this region that used to sell to Russia, but they couldn't compete in price and quality in the West. We visited a 15th century mosque, the newly renovated Jewish synagogue, and the Bada Vajida fortress. We explored the fortress to find a chapel, suits of armor, and the clothes of nobility. In the afternoon, we had a concert by the Vidin Sinfonietta. Paul, one of the passengers, was invited to conduct the orchestra. We sailed on to the port of Rousseau. We took the tour to the village of Abanasi. The Church of Archangels Michael and Gabriel has 17th century murals. Then we visited the fortified house. All the rooms had large platforms covered with carpets for sitting, sleeping, eating or working. We enjoyed the Bulgarian beer for lunch. We spent the next morning sailing down the Danube-Black Sea Canal. It avoids the Danube Delta and reduces the distance to the Black Sea from 248 miles to 40. The communists sent their political prisoners to dig the canal. About 50,000 died between 1949 and 1953. We visited Ovid Square in Constanta. The Archaeological Museum is filled with Roman statues in gold found in 1962 when they started building a new train station. Nearby is the mosque and St. Peter and Paul Orthodox Church. We made it to the Black Sea. So did a whole bunch of other kids enjoying their afternoon. That evening, we shared dinner with the captain. We were bused to Bucharest the next morning. We stopped at Revolution Square to listen to Edmund, who as a 15-year-old participated in the protests here on December 21st, 1989. Troops and tanks killed 1,200 here and 4,000 were wounded. Sucesso escaped by a helicopter from the roof of this building, but was captured and held for trial 3.5 hours later. By December 23rd, the army switched sides. Sucesso had a 70-minute trial, and on December 25th was executed. Our bus on the last day was a relic built in 1977 under the communist regime. The People's House was built between 1984 and 1989 by over 100,000 laborers. They removed over 10,000 houses in the center of the city to make room for this building. It is meant to impress, starting with a staircase modeled after the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. It is 4 million square feet, the second largest administrative building in the world. That afternoon, we took a walk in the Old Town section. We saw the Romanian Athenaeum Concert Hall, the Cismagiu Gardens, and the Stavropolios Convent. It was wonderful to see Eastern Europe by riverboat again. The lecturers and entertainers brought on board really added to the places we visited. Bucharest remains the highlight of the tour with its majestic buildings and their history. The scenic highlight was the Iron Gates portion of the Danube. It was really fun sharing this trip with both my brothers and their spouses.